المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. The Honorable Mr. Dr. Harudin SIPM as the lecturer of the Phonetics and Phonology course. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Zara Firman Sakina and my student ID number 20400124002 from the English Education Department Class A 2024. So in this video, I would like to answer the question from assignment 4. Then to make the best use of time, I will proceed directly to the next video. So for the question number 1, what is consonant sounds? Use at least a theory to explain. So the answer is consonant sounds are speech sounds produced with some form of obstruction or narrowing of the airflow in the vocal tract when speaking. Unlike vowel sounds where the air flows freely, consonant involve a blockage or restriction at some point in the vocal tract. According to the theory of articulatory phonetics proposed by Peter Lejeune, consonants are produced when articulators such as the tongues, lips, teeth, and palate interact to modify the airflow coming from the lungs. In phonetics, consonant sounds are characterized by three primary features: the place of articulation, where the obstruction occurs, the manners of articulation, how the obstruction is made, and the voicing, whether the vocal cords vibrate or not. For instance, the sound P in pet is classified as a voiceless bilabial plosive, while the sound B in bed is a voiceless bilabial plosive. Consonants play an essential role in differentiation meanings between words, even as a slight change in consonant can lead to significant change in the meaning, such as a bed and bed. So next question is, what do you know of place of articulation? Explain by giving examples in phonemes and in words pronunciation and how to produce the sounds. Okay, so the answer number 2, the place of articulation refers to the specific location within the vocal tract where the airflow is obstructed to produce as consonant sounds. Different articulators such as the lips, tongues, and teeth are involved depending on the consonant being produced. For example, bilabial sounds like P, B, and M are formed using both lips, as in the words pet, bed, and man. Labiodental sounds like F and V are produced by placing the lower lip against the upper teeth, as heard in fan and fun. Dental sounds and fun in thing and taste involve the tongue likely touching the upper teeth. Alveolar sounds such as D, S, Z, N, and L involve the tongue touching or approaching the alveolar braids, seen in words like like top, dog, sheep, zip, nice, and left. Post alveolar sounds like are articulated slightly behind the alveolar bridge, right, appearing in shoe, measure, chop, and judge. Velar sounds such as K, G, and N are produced when the back of the tongue contacts the soft palate. As in cat, go, and sing. Glottal sounds like ha are made by using the glottis as heard in hat. Okay, so the next question is, what do you know of a manner of articulation by giving examples in phonemes and in words pronunciation, and how how to produce these sounds. Okay, guys, so the answer number 3 is the manner of articulation refers of the way in which the airflow is modified to create different consonant sounds. Plosive or stop consonants like P, B, T, D, K, and G are produced by completely blocking the airflow and then releasing. It suddenly as in pen, bed, top, dog, cat, and goat. Fricative sounds such as F, B, O, D, sorry, S, Z, and E involve reversing air through a nervous contraction, producing as hissing sound as in fish, fan, ting, tip, this, tip, dip, shoe, and measure. Affricates T and D combine stop and fricatives starting with complete blow and releasing into fricative as in crush and judge. Nasal sounds like M, N, and N are created by reducing the airflow through the nose while keeping the oral cavity closed, which can be found in men now and seeing the lateral approximant allows the airflow to escape around the sides of the tongue, as in a love and other approximants like V, G, and R. Involve a close approximation of articulation without enough friction to produce a turbulent airstream, as in wait, yes, and right. Glottal sounds such as hey, ha involve the flow of air through the open glottis, producing a breathing sound as in hat. So the last question is, in your opinion, what? So the number 4 is, in your opinion, what are the advantages of knowing or even mastering this type of knowledge? So the answer is, in my opinion, understanding and mastering knowledge about consonant sounds, place of articulation, and manner of articulation brings many significant advantages both academically and practically. So firstly, it helps significantly in improving pronunciation skills, making communication in foreign language clearer and more natural to native speakers. Secondly, in the field of language teaching, this knowledge enables teachers to provide precise and effective explanation about how to produce specific sounds rather than simply relying on imitation. This can be particularly important when teaching difficult sounds that don't exist in the learner's native language. Thirdly, in the areas of linguistic and speech technology such as speech recognition and speech synthesis, a deep understanding of phonetics and phonology is crucial. Researchers and developers use this knowledge to create more accurate and natural sounding system. Additionally, it creates a phonological awareness greatly assists in learning to read and write, especially for children and second language learners. Those who have a good understanding of the sound of a language are usually faster at recognizing spelling and pronunciation patterns. Finally, mastering this knowledge enriches cultural understanding. Science language is an integral part of culture, and being able to grasp the nuance of sounds helps us appreciate the diversity and richness of language around the world. Maybe that's all for the assignment 4. Thank you for attention, guys. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.